Hi. I've always used social media as my journal so I can come back and look at it one day and reflect. And also, I've been so fortunate enough to build such a beautiful community on here that I just want to spread some light upon. Just talk about everything that's going on in my mental in regards to being a working actor. I want to be able to vocalize my feelings in a way that if I wasn't myself, that I could be able to relate to in a way, if that makes any any sense. What's been like in my internal and that I've been battling with recently, I've been really struggling with comparing my success to other people's success and view it as my failure. And I've been trying to reformat my brain and my mental in regards to that aspect. So I also want to touch on what's filming in Canada because so much is getting filmed in Canada right now. This video is basically just going to summarize what it's like to be an auditioning actor presently. And we're just going to talk about all things that I've been stressed out about and maybe you've been stressed out about. All right, first topic is comparison. I've kind of taken a step back away from social media just to reevaluate what I want to say because I feel like I've said everything that I wanted to say. And I've stood up for Canadian actors as much as I possibly could without it jeopardizing my career, which also is something that I do weirdly think about. I'm concerned sometimes of when I come on here because I want to be a voice for actors. I want to show the world what's actually going on in our industry from somebody who's experiencing it. But at the same time, I also don't want to jeopardize my career in any way. Do you understand? I don't know. For so long, I do feel like actors have just been viewed as these props in some form, in a way. And I want to humanize the acting industry because when somebody is getting into this industry, it is quite glamorized from an outsider's point of view. You look at actors and you just see their success and you just see their success stories and you see their highlights on social media. But I do want to dive into the mental health side of what it is to be a working actor. I have been comparing my success to other people's success. There's also this like little thing in my ear, which I feel like the industry has just placed on all of us, is that little voice that's telling you that you're not doing enough or you're not good enough. And I don't know where this has stemmed from, but it is so frustrating because I feel like I've been wired that way. I feel like for some reason, as soon as I became an actor, I've been wired to compare myself to other actors. And then I remove myself and I realize, why the hell am I comparing my success to somebody else's success when we are two totally different hits? I trust the universe fully. I trust my angels fully. What is not meant for me will never, ever find me because it truly was not for me. It was for them. And I'm wasting so much of my own energy and power fixating on other people's success. I could do so many more things if I wasn't worried about what other people are succeeding at and view it as me versus me instead of me against them. Like it's weird. And I don't know why my brain is wired like that. And I get irritated at myself that I look at people that are booking, that are auditioning like crazy. And I'm like, what the hell? What am I not doing correctly? When in the grand scheme of things, it's not that at all. My only thing that I can share for you is if you are struggling with comparing your auditions to somebody else's auditions or your bookings to somebody else's bookings, the only thing I can say is view them as inspiration instead of comparison. And I know that a lot of people talk about this, but what I mean by that is you are so special and unique in your own way. You and the person that you are comparing your career to are so different, are so different. Okay, now we're getting super vulnerable. I've always wanted to go out for like romantic leads. I've always said that I want to be in a rom-com. I want to be in a romance movie, however that seems fit for me. And then I auditioned for romance movies and then I watched my tape back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not pretty enough to be a romantic lead. Looking at all of my flaws through a magnifying glass instead of looking at the choices that I've been making as an actor, or instead of looking at the positives and be like, wow, I was really present in that scene. So I was reviewing this tape for this thing that I so desperately wanted, and it came in my inbox, and immediately I was like, ah, yee! I was so happy. I was so giddy. I was so excited. And I do the tape, and I'm proud of it, as I always am with my tapes. And then I send it, and this is where everything comes. Like, whenever I'm creating the character, whenever I'm memorizing my lines, whenever I'm doing my tape, I'm never really too much in my head with it. I'm like proud of what I'm doing and what I'm submitting. And the thing that I've been struggling with is the silence. And I've been an auditioning actor for 6 years. So I'm used to the silence. When I was younger, I wanted a nose job so badly because I thought my nose was too big for film. I have a unique nose. It's not like a little button that we're so used to seeing, right? So because I've told myself this for so long, now whenever I watch my tapes back, I'm like, I'm not going to book it because my nose is too big. Yeah, that makes me so sad. I want to talk about filming in Canada and what's that like. Canada has been picking up for film and TV. I feel like everything is filmed in Canada at this point. So many of your favorite shows are filmed in Canada. And in previous years, I do know that they cast a lot of Americans as the leads. But I have noticed a shift. I have noticed a lot of things that are being filmed in Canada are majority Canadian cast. And that gets me pumped up. So what it's like to be an actor in Canada right now, I feel like we've finally been invited to the party. And I do feel like it's going to just continue to get better. I think this is our time to show the world that we're more than just Canadiana stuff that we can put out. It gets me so excited because for so long, the only option was to find success in Canada and then pack up everything and move to LA. And, you know, I've thought that many a times, but now I don't feel like it's completely needed because self-tapes are here. And it's so beautiful to see like Canadians getting lifted up in a light that they deserve. I just want to shout out Canadian actors. For so long, we've been looked past, and I do feel a change coming, which gets me really excited. So shout out all of my Canadian actors out there. I look up to you. Something else that has been like heavy on my mind is embracing my uniqueness. There's nobody that's like you. Everybody brings something different to a character, right? You have different experiences than the other people that are auditioning. You've just met different characters in your life that you can use in auditions. The art of embracing your uniqueness as an actor will help you in every single one of your tapes because you're embracing your you, and nobody is you. Nobody has your quirks, the way that you articulate. Nobody has your movements or your mannerisms. Nobody has that. And as much as you want to compare yourself to other actors and your friends and their successes and their roles or your past auditions, the more that you truly embrace who you are to your core, the better your auditions will be, in my opinion. Instead of shape-shifting who you are to fit into somebody else's standards that you've seen succeed, the more that you come home to yourself, the better your tapes will be. Anyway, all this to say is nobody is you. The art of embracing the silence as an actor. It's a really hard thing to deal with silence. Rejection, I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. I wasn't right for that role, even though listen, my thing is every single one of my goddamn auditions that I send, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I loved that. And then I just don't hear anything. I view that silence as failure, which I don't know why my brain is wired like that. It just is, honestly. I can't wrap my head around the fact that I honestly just wasn't fit for that role. I wasn't right for that role. But then I view that I wasn't right for that role as my insecurities. Like, oh, I didn't book that role because of blank, because I'm blank. Comparison is just exhausting. It's so exhausting. I wish that I could make it stop. Honestly, there hasn't been one audition in the past few months that I've like felt terrible at. Instead of saying, oh, I didn't hear anything from that audition that I really, really liked, reframe it to speak more positively about that. And it's not like I didn't get the role that I really wanted for this thing. View it as I got to create a character that will someday work for a project that I do. Like every single audition, you are creating a character that possibly doesn't fit in that world, but could possibly work in another world. Because yeah, maybe you didn't hear back from that one specific audition, but that doesn't mean that what you did was shit. Because I know as an actor's mind goes there, they're like, oh my God, I was shit. Like, oh, they hated me. I'm not talented enough, because we're so self-deprecating as creatives. It's really hard to like own your stuff and be like, yeah, I am a good actor. Sure, I didn't fit into that world, but the tape that I submitted was good. And the character that I got to create, I will use one day in a project. I don't know, because I think that I'm going through a really difficult period of negativity and comparison, that I just wanted to come on here and share my inner thoughts to other fellow creatives and just have some awareness that you are your worst critic. Casting wants you to succeed. The director wants you to succeed. And although possibly you didn't fit into that world, it doesn't mean that you're a terrible actor if you don't book it. You're not a bad actor if you hear silence. You're not a bad actor if somebody else booked the role. You're you, dude. Comparison man. All right. Go crush your tapes. Bye.